Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to this great show. Yes, we're here today again. I bring you greetings on behalf of myself, Epi, and my sister Munachi, who may still not be around today, but she's busy somewhere helping us to do one or two things. So please, you're welcome to this show. I live in Lexington. If you're seeing this video for the first time, this is Daughters of Truth, a one-stop station for all your self-determination issues. If you need information on how your people can be free, if you need information on how we can make the Black nation great again, then this is the right place. Please invite others, your brothers, your sisters, your family members, church members, everyone, because it's either you are encouraged to do what you're doing and to do more, or you'll be encouraged to repent and turn around for the sake of humanity. So please share, like, and subscribe. I will join us to share. And as usual on this show, while we're sharing, once we start the show, as we begin to share and wait for people to join us, because this is an all-important conversation. It should be every day, but because of other things that we're doing, other engagements, we come only on Saturdays. However, we have enough videos to keep you busy. If you go to Daughters of Truth channel, you see yourself, you'll be there, you won't come out because there are so many videos, educative videos. So I'll join us to share as we'll play the first video. That's the video of our sister Kemi in UK. She said something about conservatives, conserving what is great about their country. Yes, we are Africans. We are indigenous peoples of Africa. We are here to conserve what is great about Africa. So please join us. We want to make Africa great again. Civilization started in Africa. Yes, you heard it. That's right. Civilization started in Africa. So there's no way anyone will tell me that we don't know how to do it again. We will do it again. It's unfortunate that we allowed some visitors to come in. We thought they were friends, but we have seen it, that they didn't mean well for us. So we will do it again. Yes, our ancestors did it before. We are here to do it. We're going to civilize. We are civilized already. We're going to rebuild Africa. We're going to make Africa great again. So let me pull up that first video, and then we watch as our sister talks to us. Thank you.
Are conservatives elected to conserve what is great about our country. Thank you. We cannot sit by as the left denigrate our history and pull down our monuments. We must not be afraid, as we were in Batley. We must not be afraid to get involved, where a teacher was driven into hiding by Islamist thugs. Or when the very worst crimes were committed, when young girls were groomed and raped for years in Rotherham and Rochdale, and nothing happened. Nothing happened because those in charge were scared of being called racists. And then the system hid behind the Human Rights Act and failed to deport the child abusers and allowed them to walk the streets where their victims live. Well, enough. I am not afraid. The stealthy poisoning of our society needs to stop. And let's face it, the Liberal Democrats are not going to defend our country. Unlike the left, we know right from wrong. We are conservatives, elected to conserve what is great about our country. Thank you. We cannot.
So I allow that to play again for you to know what they are doing. And like we keep telling you, everybody in this world is not evil. We have the good people, we have the bad people. So if you know in your heart that you have heart for humanity, you want to change what is currently going on, where our children are dying because of food, there are other people that you can team up with all over the world. We can work with them to make this world a better place. Yes, we can do it. So we have seen our sister Kemi. We'll bring more information about her as we go on. Of course, there are videos about her for you to know what she believes in, where she's going. She is from the great Yoruba nation. So we'll pull up a second video. That is from Nina's. Let me take out this one as we pull up the second video. Please continue to help us share, like, and subscribe. Continue to help us share, like, and subscribe. So this next video is a Nina's video, because we told you, like, when we bring up videos, it's for us to share, listen, as we are sharing this particular video, this all-important discussion. So please continue to share, continue to invite other people to join in the conversation. The title of this video, this Nina's videos, is Nina's Union Reset Proposition, a start to finish practice design. This particular one that we're using for this show was presented by our father, Reverend Dr. David Salami of Southwest Block of Nina's. Under DTV, you will hear him introduce his channel, his platform, DTV. Please find them, search it, find them, like, subscribe, follow. Because our father is doing what we have been telling other reverend priests, bishops, all the religious people, religious leaders. He's doing exactly what we have been telling them to do. It is not possible that you will be leading people, preaching Christ to them. Meanwhile, Christ died for the liberation of humanity. Then we are telling you that the humans in Nigeria, Africa, are still under slavery, serious bondage, physical bondage, political bondage. He said, no, I don't care. People like Dr. Damina will say, oh no, we're here to preach Christ. We don't go into politics. Even your life is politics. Everything about you is politics. So please, let us stop what we're doing. If we say indeed you're following Christ, this Nina's proposition must be in front of you. Otherwise, you're not serious. You're not ready. Otherwise, you're just playing lip service to what you call freedom. Because there's no freedom without physical freedom. You cannot go to a people enslaved, colonized, and say, oh, I bring you good news. The good news is that there's one man called Jesus Christ. He died for your sin that will set you free. But I don't care about the physical chains you have. You can continue to be under that yoke. All I'm interested is that when you die, you go to heaven. Does that make sense to you? So please, let's listen to our father doing the right thing. This is part of their mobilization initiatives. He's doing so many other things on the ground with his people. Like we said, he's from Southwest Block. We told you that in NINAS, we have 3 blocks: Southwest Block, Middle Belt Block, and Lower Niger Block. It's just for ease of organization and ease of function. So we're going to break this. It's a long video. We'll break it in half. When he plays a certain place, I'll come in, say a few things, and then we'll finish it up. Please continue to share, like, and subscribe, because we are here for our people. Thank you very much.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you are. This is DTV. I'm your host, Reverend Dr. David Tawhid Salami of NINAS, the Nigeria Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination. A body of people who had worked for over 25 years to bring freedom, peace, self-determination through liberty to Nigerians of all tribes. Once again, I welcome you as your host. DTV is established purposely to bring to your doorstep the truth behind the suffering of Nigerians.
Yes, for those who imagine that what NINAS is saying is all about theory. Now, look at the graphic before you. The reason we have had to explain all kinds of concepts as we moved along in the manner we have done, many, including lawyers, did not understand the meaning of constitution. They think it's a booklet. Many did not understand that when we say constitution is a fraud, we're saying that the union is a fraud. Many do not understand when we say the constitution has to be decommissioned for reconfiguration. They do not understand we're saying that Nigeria, as currently defined by the constitution imposed, have to be, rearranged in a manner that could result in dissolution, peaceful dissolution, like Soviet Union dissolved, like Yugoslavia, eventually found itself after, being recalcitrant for a while, that broke into a war. There are 6, 7 countries that, emerged from all of that refusal to listen. Or even closer home, though that's not the best example, the Sudan that became 2 countries. We're saying that it is possible to have, as the outcome of this 25 years intervention, a proper federation. It is possible to have a confederation. It is possible to come out with independent units of successor sovereign states from the defunct Federation of Nigeria. If anybody is pretending he doesn't understand the meaning of defunct Federation of Nigeria, the Federation died in 1966, the day Murtala Mohammed and co. began to behead other members of that federation. And then Gowon in 1967, May 27, 1967, fractured, decapitated the 4 regions that were federating and fractured them into 12 states. With the economic and other assets and powers of the regions taken over by the illicit federal government that emerged. Illicit, and that is the case till date, illicit in the sense that if our federation collapsed and we went to Aburi to discuss how to refloat it, and we came back and abandoned it, and then began to point guns at people, locking them in, battering their head, beheading the ones that had to be beheaded. When Ken Saro-Wiwa said, no, you beheaded him, and all of that. We don't have a federation, and we therefore cannot have a federal government. And so all of these things have to be, taken apart and explained one after the other, so that we can see that the union is a union of peoples that are federating. And therefore, if you remove the aspect of federating from it, and you lock them in like the British did to us in 1914, it's a union at gunpoint. Credit to Professor Anthony Akinwale, the former Vice Chancellor of Dominican University in Ibadan, because that was how he encapsulated it. So it's a union at gunpoint. Why are flags flying all over Nigeria? Odua Republic here, Biafra Republic there, Ijo refusal to come along there, and everywhere is boiling. What is the problem? What is the problem? Will it go away? Will that problem go away with the meltdown across security, across economy, across, the entire social fabric of society is broken down? And so, back to our graphic, what we are explaining right now, so that those who think it's theory, they may say, oh, where are your guns to be able to overtake them? You will see where guns fit in just now, because it is that constitution that defines who can hold the gun and who cannot touch the gun. If that constitution goes down, all things anchored on it, all institutions created by it, including the states as you have them now, including local governments, including the exclusive list as you have them, the 68 items there, because that's where you have arms and ammunition. As that constitution has been defeated, we have a choice to go under a roof, all of us, including government, to go under a roof and discuss what will replace it in an orderly manner, like South Africa did in 1990. We also can continue in our brigandage and refusal to listen until those who own the sovereignties that have been detained, that have been hijacked, go unilateral. And they are perfectly entitled to go unilateral in this matter. Those who talk about treason, there's no treason on the table ahead of the treason of hijacking our sovereignty. And those who swear to defend and uphold that constitution are committing treason against all of us. Those who sit in the National Assembly talking about amendment of a constitution we have not made, they are committing treason against the rest of us. And the owners of the sovereignties that are confiscated by this constitution are entitled to recover their sovereignty, since it is a forgery. The Constitution of 1999, the Constitution of Nigeria, is a forgery, a fraud. You put my signature on a document I've never discussed with you as the authorization for my damnation. You say I'm the one that submitted my land to your union. You say I'm the one that agreed on the terms of the union. Oh, having firmly and solemnly resolved to live in unity together. It's a lie. Then you turn around to say, accordingly, we make and give unto ourselves the following control. These are all lies. So when Nina says that union of Nigeria, based on all these lies, go back to the preamble and read all the lies there. That is what we are talking about. There's nothing else that is of any interest to any of us until those lies are resolved. And how do you resolve them? You must identify the owners of the sovereignties that you have confiscated by that constitution. The Yoruba as Yoruba in Yoruba land. The Ijaw as Ijaw in Ijaw land. The Igbo as Igbo in Igbo land. The thief as thief in thief land. The Berom as Berom in Berom land. The Igala as Igala in Igala land. The Edo as Edo in Edo land. That is the only time the Fulani will have to show everybody where their Fulani land is in this entity we call Nigeria. If they cannot, that is when they have to look around and see who they can piggyback on, who they can come to the table with to discuss. Otherwise, what you find is that sovereignty, in case you did not know, Nigeria did not fall from the sky. Nigeria is a union of peoples. If our union agreement had been overtaken by the brigandage of one section and those who join to hold it, to suck the blood of others, then the owners of those sovereignties are at liberty to take back their sovereignty. There's something called self-determination. That right to self-determination is inalienable. It's not something that depends on you agreeing with me. It is something that accrues to me as long as I am a distinct nationality on my census space. I'm not telling you what somebody told me. I'm telling you as an expert in that field of knowledge. I'm telling you as one who have gone to the UN at its highest levels, not at the level of Amina Mohammed Secretariat, people. With the UN at the level of the Security Council, at the level of the Trusteeship Council, at the level of those who have to decide. And nobody's waiting for them to come to organize us. We're only saying that the instruments of the UN that define what has to happen are already clearly spelled out.
Yes.
It is up to us. It's like fundamental human right. If your right is breached, it is up to you to enforce it.
Exactly.
If because the right is there, you now fold your arms, they will throw you from prison to prison. But if that right is there, and you now stand up to say, no, you can't do this because that right is there, 95% of the time, you are likely to get out of that situation. That's exactly how it is with the peoples of Nigeria today. Their sovereignty have been confiscated by brigandage, and the remedy that is available to them today is called the right to self-determination. The Constitution of the Unitary Constitution of Nigeria was made in negation, in confiscation of that right, because it is their exclusive right to make the constitution by which they federate. So if you throw away what they agreed upon in Lancaster House and you impose the one that Murtala Mohammed and his co-murderers imposed on all of us, and you think you're going to build your edifice of Nigeria, that's why Nigeria is at the bottom on the global stage. If you think you are going to build on that foundation and it will become Nigeria the Great, that is why let the rest of Africa hear it. The reason Nigeria is disgracing the black man all over the world is because the Constitution of Nigeria is a fraud. Everything that you see happening in Nigeria is mandated by that Constitution. Those who suffer from it have a right to remove themselves, to recover their sovereignty and carry on with their lives outside the union of death that unitary Nigeria has become for them. Yeah. We're not talking about the Federation of Nigeria that died. If it is the Federation of Nigeria that we have to rework today, that we have to fix today, that we have to repair today, I will be the first on that construction site. But if it is the unitary Nigeria that you are building on the foundation that injured me, on the foundation that sucked my blood, I tell you, I owe it a duty, an urgent duty, to destroy, to bring down that federation, that unitary Nigeria. And that is what this constitution has imposed on us. And so, let us look at these graphics again. There are 4 periods. You can see the clock. In that clock, you see in the position of 12, you see A. In the position of 3, you see B. In the position of 6, you see C. And in the position of 9, you see D. There are 4 periods. The period between A and B, between B and C, between C and D, between D and A. Where we are now is at that period A to B, as at 16th of December in 2020, we had worked for 20 years from 1999 to speak to the victims of this unitary Nigeria across the South and Middle Belt and elsewhere, including the Upper North. Buhari, that is now loafing around after messing everybody up and everything up for 8 years as president. Buhari was part of the Fulani delegation that came to Pronaco in 2005, 2006, before he went to run for election in 2007. He came to, get us, he came to plead with us to come with him so that if he becomes president, he will then implement what we agreed to take Nigeria back to being a federation. Today, he's carrying on as if, and when he became president, he was carrying on as if he had never heard about what was wrong with the union, why people were clamoring for restructuring. Saad Abubakar, that is now doing inter-religious, interfaith, whatever, the harmony. How can you build harmony on a foundation of such a grave injustice as we have now? Hassan Kuka, you are looking for peace on a foundation. You and Absalom Abubakar, combine yourself to become a chairman and coordinator of Peace Committee on a foundation of injustice. The constitution under which elections are conducted guarantees the negative outcomes we see. Why can't you, in the name of, you wear the cassock pretending to be the man on behalf of God on the scene? Why are you building peace on a foundation of injustice? Hassan Kuka.
Imagine.
Working with the Absalom Abubakar that imposed that falsehood on everybody, that is killing people in millions, chasing Nigerians in all directions across the world. And so by 2020, after 20 years from 1999, we have built sufficient consensus against that fraud called the 1999 Constitution. We have built sufficient consensus against the enforcers of that Constitution. And it is a consensus of the victims. The peoples of Nigeria are the victims of unitary Nigeria. Now, we rolled out a proposition. We declared a union dispute. That is what that constitutional force majeure is all about. We declared an emergency. We declared an emergency on that subject of the seizure of our sovereignty, on that subject of the confiscation of our lands into a union of death. We declared an emergency and a union dispute. We say, yes, there's a country. We are not saying there's no Nigeria anywhere. We're saying, yes, there's a country, but we do not have a union. There are two different things. We have a country, we do not have a federation. Meaning that the discussion we should have had as various peoples, as different peoples, distinct peoples that could be countries of their own, because our sovereignty accrued to us on account of our land, yes, our ancestral spaces, our distinct nationalities resident in our ancestral spaces.
Yes.
Our sovereignty accrued to us. Mm-hmm. And so if they got hijacked, like the British hijacked in 1914, like Absalom Abubakar and co. continue the hijack by decree number 24 of 1999. As Obasanjo and his principal, Murtala Mohammed, hijacked between 1975, that they got Rotimi Williams and Ben Nwabeze to go and draft constitution that was not to be discussed by anybody. Of course, they called the Constituent Assembly that juggled things around for them, but somehow in September of, let those who wish to verify go and find out whether on the 21st of September in 1978, Olusegun Obasanjo, as a military head of Nigeria, did not announce 17 amendments to the finished work of the Constituent Assembly. That was where they threw away all of what the people discussed and reinstated what Murtala Mohammed on behalf of the Caliphate wanted. 21st September 1978, Olusegun Obasanjo toppled the finished work of the Constituent Assembly. So anybody, including lawyers particularly, anybody who will tell you that 1979 Constitution was a product of a Constituent Assembly of the people of Nigeria, tell such a person that Tony Nadi says is a criminal, because it's so easy to verify, and we've said it so many times in the public space. And so we come back.
Obasanjo, Aru Merendi Igbo, Aru Merendi Nigeria. My people, you have heard it. How can you build peace on the foundation of injustice? How? How? We'll continue to play this video, but we want to just talk small, then we'll finish it. Remember that the topic of this is Nina's video, because usually on this show, we don't just come to teach you our own things in our minds. We bring the professionals, those that are on the field, doing the practical work. Yes, Nina's work is practical. For those Itibolibo that keep saying, oh, it's theory. No, it's practical, but it's based on theory, just like science. When you want to do something as a scientist, you have some things that you need to do in the lab, but it has to be based on principles and theories. You don't just come and just start carrying chemicals and just mix, put this one here, put this one, put this one here. You will blow up the lab. So Nina's work is practical work based on principles, theories that have been said before we even came here. So it's not haphazard work. It's not something that you go on the road and carry stick and go on and match it and be running up and down looking for who to injure. That's not what it's all about. Principled work. Very, very practical. Those saying it's not practical is those that are doing wuru-wuru. Yes, you just want to do wuru-wuru. You just come, look for excuse for you not to do what you're supposed to do. So this Nina's video is Nina's Union Reset Proposition, a start to finish practical design. And we told you that this particular video was sent to us by our father, Reverend Dr. David Salami. He's from Southwest Block, part of Nina's. And he's doing this under his platform, DTV. It's an initiative he put in place to mobilize his own people, the indigenous people of Southwest. We told you we have the indigenous peoples of Middle Belt. We have indigenous peoples of Lower Niger, Congress area. Call it what you want. It's just for organization's sake, because you have to be organized. Like I told you, that Nina's work is based on principles and theories. So you must follow things line by line, precept upon precept. You don't just wake up and say, okay, I think it's this, I think it's that. No. So we'll continue to play this video again. Remember, he said something about differentiating the Federation of Nigeria from the Unitary Nigeria. Understand the difference. Because when people say Nigeria, Nigeria, some people are so passionate about Nigeria. We ask them, which one? Which Nigeria are you passionate about? Is it the unitary one that tied everybody's hand together, or the federal one that never came to existence, died at stillbirth child? The Federal Republic of Nigeria died as he was coming out of the womb. He didn't make it out. It was stillbirth. As people were cooking it up, our ancestors, our forebearers were doing it, planning, not knowing that the enemy was just waiting by the corner to poison the system. So the Federal Republic of Nigeria died at birth, stillbirth. He didn't even make it. He didn't even take the first fresh air. So when people tell you, oh, I remember Nigeria, this, that only little thing you enjoyed was why our people were trying to cook Nigeria, the one that they wanted. Not knowing that when they had what they had in their mind, thinking that they were on the table, planning with the people, that the enemy was busy injecting poison into the system. So as they were about to bring out the child, he came out dead. Yes. So that's the one that some people can even talk about, not this unitary Nigeria. So in place of that one, it's like you're about to give birth to a child. They poisoned the child as the child was coming forth and brought the child of an enemy, replaced it and said, oh, madam, see your baby. Hey, see your baby. You now took the enemy's child, cobra, home. I'm going to go and start feeding the cobra, thinking it was the one that you wanted to bake. The child that you carried for 9 months that you wanted to bring out, that's one you took home. You didn't know you took the child of a cobra back home and went home to go and start feeding the cobra. What will happen to you? The cobra is going to grow and swallow you, finish you and the entire family. We'll continue to play again. Please continue to share, like, and subscribe. This conversation is very, very important. We can see our brother Isi Momodu. Thank you so much, always being here. Thank you for all the people that I can call now. Please continue to share, like, and subscribe, because we're here to do what we need to do. Thank you.
Back to what was it we did in 2020, December 16, to now 2024, December 16, being the 4th anniversary. And it is at the point of this 4th anniversary that we first celebrate the demise, because the strategic objective for the union dispute we declared by way of that constitutional force majeure. The objective was to take down that 1999 constitution in an orderly manner. In that orderly manner, there will be a transition. If a majority of the people who are living in the hell Nigeria has become, if all of us will in one accord, that's what we describe as joint jailbreak. If in one accord we say, This constitution is not of our making. It has our signature in forgery. It has injured us in every possible way. Anybody can suffer injury, whether it is our economic assets that are detained, or the exclusive right of the enemy to possess all the guns in the land and use as they will, or the corruption that the instrument authorizes, or the immunity it confers on those who will take the money from the treasury. The president, the 36 governors have immunity, and they're the ones who sign out all the money. They do not owe you any obligation according to that constitution. Go and see what is in section 6, subsection 6C. The citizens are not owed any obligation by government. Government does not owe you the school, the hospital, the right to equal treatment, and even the one that they say is the primary duty of government, welfare and security of the citizen. The chapter 2 that has all those things for the citizen is rendered, discretionary to the government by section 6, subsection 6C. Go and find out any lawyer who tells you any other thing. Tell him he's illiterate. Tell him he's dishonest.
Yes.
That the Nigerian state does not owe you any obligation. The pretense that they do owe you that obligation has become the trade of those lawyers who go to EFCC, who go to election petition, instead of joining in this discussion about the constitution by which Nigeria is convened, by which Nigeria is defined, by which Nigeria is governed. 3 different things. Because when you hear government of the people, by the people, for the people, there are always those 3 elements. The constitution, there's the union question, the structure question, and the system question, in that order. If you don't take up the union question, then you find Sunday Igboho and the rest of the Yoruba Nation crowd saying they don't belong here. They don't know what they're talking about. You will find the ones doing Biafra, waving Biafra flag to say that it is the union question they are raising. It is the union question they are raising. Then you go to the question of the structure, the terms of that union. When you see the Niger Delta agitation saying resource control, by what mechanism did the oil and gas become the property of Medebiribe in Maiduguri? Or the oil and gas of Bayelsa belonging to Jigawa, like we had one lunatic saying on national TV. And so these are the issues. Those 3 items, they are like the roots of a tree, the trunk, and the foliage. They are like the foundation of a building, the vertical column, and the roof. You hear about people who overheat the polity. The polity is that foundation upon which the union is anchored. That's the constitution. The politics is the management of that enterprise. That's where you see elections and all of the INEC and everybody how do people come to be the managers of that enterprise in that period? Mm-hmm. It is as dictated by the constitution. So if you have not settled the question of constitution and you jump into free and fair election, like I hear many demented people go to canvass, free and fair election under a constitution of apartheid. Imagine. Rule of law under a constitution of apartheid. Imagine. Any lawyer that goes to TV in Nigeria to say that, rule of law, his campaign for rule of law, or the rule of law is failing. Under this constitution, you can't have rule of law in a constitution of impunity. What else do you need to see to know that it is so? Look at what is going on in Ekiti. Look at where it's coming from. And look at the madness that is being celebrated all over the place. But that matter is going to bring open all the rots in all the systems that make up that Nigeria. And so back to our illustration, in 2020, we declared this dispute and we offered a 5-point proposition for how to settle it. There's nobody else, the government, the patriots, and all the people who have come with the Fakbonda group and what are those their names? All of those that come to say, restructure, we do it this way and not that way. The NINA's 5-point proposition is the only proposition on the table that identifies the problem in specificity. The unitary constitution of Nigeria, that identifies the solution to decommission that constitution. Yep. that identifies the mechanism for applying that solution. That is to suspend the elections, go into transition to rework that constitution. That's the mechanism for that decommissioning. The number 4 of the proposition is a strategy for activating that mechanism to say, look, let the victims of this constitution insist that they won't go to another election as a mark of their rejection of that constitution.
Yes.
And therefore, be the ones to come in a 2-stage procedure to work out the replacement. It is not the business of National Assembly. The question of constitution making is far beyond the mandate, the legislative mandate of National Assembly. Anybody in the National Assembly who is discussing constitution on your behalf is holding on to your sovereignty, and they're telling you they now own you. They are now the owners of the sovereignty. That you voted at the election it has become reason why they are now the owners of your lives. They can decide what will happen to you, whereas you are the one who sent them on an errand, and they went and joined the enemy to wreck you, to kill you, and share your blood. That is what they do every month in Abuja. They're sharing your blood. And so, in the 5th proposition, we say a time-bound announcement. What we're inviting the peoples of Nigeria to do today is to adopt those 5 points of proposition, because that is what will take the matter from start to finish, where we are now. There's nothing that is going to stop those who are tormenting you from carrying on in 2027. Is it the police that will repent and come and join you in how to topple them in election? Is it the INEC that have been sharing with them for many years that will repent and now begin to count your vote? No. Is it this judiciary we have seen that is going to repent and now declare the truth, declare the law? Mm-mm. We've seen that they have gone worse than they have ever been. And so all of what you need to bring about any change, if you don't define it by yourself, you have to define the change. It's not enough to come and say, oh, we want change. Oh, we want revolution. What is it that has to be done to bring about that change? What is it that has to be done to compel the renegades that are now have hijacked the powers of state? In an election, we saw how it went. And this address goes to all of those who subscribe to that constitution, who subscribe to elections under that constitution, because their stupidity has led us to where we are now, in which millions of people are distressed. That stupidity, by that small number, has become the reason 230 million people can perish. Their life is already ruined. Many are dying off. Others are running away to even more serious danger than Nigeria is. You saw the ones in Libya. You saw the ones going to Asia. You saw the ones that managed to get to UK. They are telling them now that they have to be deported. They have to be taken to Rwanda or wherever. Go to the US and see the pandemonium. But all of us, home and abroad, who suffer because we are Nigerians, whose passports have become a badge of shame, this address applies to all of you. The diaspora, the Nigerian diaspora, we are talking about the constitution that is worse than apartheid. You are busy organizing yourself in how you come and vote. Vote the votes of the millions of people at home. What has it amounted to under this constitution? Nothing. Why can't you join that discussion of how we get rid of this constitution? The South Africans in the days of apartheid, who were overseas, everybody was on one subject. How do we get rid of apartheid constitution? Exactly. But today you're not involved in the discussion of getting rid of that constitution. You're talking about how to come and vote, how to come and all of you belong to one party or the other. We see you come in and go. You fly in for party conventions. You partake, you are party chairman of which party under which constitution? Under which constitution? We ask you. What is the value of your education if you cannot sit down and make an analysis of what the problem is? Can you cure an ailment if you have not diagnosed it? No. And so we invite you to this. If you have not read that force majeure, particularly the 5-point proposition, you get on whatever search engine, Google, whatever. Go to the website www.ninasvoice.org. Search for, just type force majeure. It will come up in many headings. Go and read that 5-point proposition so you can see what we're talking about. So we come back to our illustration. At that point in 2020, where we came out with that union dispute and the 5-point proposition, declaring that emergency,
Yes.
we began with enlightenment of the people to say, look, this is what has happened, this is what we can do. In the period between that A and B, you can see that the 20-year process deployed, against the Unity Constitution had gained traction amongst those who didn't know. So by the time we were going to station B, they were now saying, oh, this constitution, everywhere, even in marketplaces,
Yes.
everywhere you go, you will see that people are discussing constitution. They may not be able to explain it the way we're explaining it, but it is the constitution that they now know that the constitution is the problem.
Exactly.
The only thing they need to know next is that the operators of that constitution are the reasons the constitution has survived for this length of time, even with all of what we have done. We have delegitimized it. Nobody is able to say now that the constitution is not the problem, apart from characters like Peter Obi, who only him knows, because he first said that Nigeria is like a vehicle without engine. How did he turn around now to begin to load people into that vehicle without engine? And look at where he dumped them in February of 2025. They came out, they voted in overwhelming numbers for him. So we go from that point of that consensus in that B to where in C we are now asking them to come with us in rejecting further national elections under that constitution, particularly in 2027, so that as they reject that election on account of their rejection of that constitution,
Yes.
there's no other thing anybody can do than the transition to work out the alternative. Otherwise, everybody, the union stands dissolved under the constitution of a forgery, of a fraud. And so, if our people will listen to us now, before the politicians come telling them what magic they are going to perform in 2027, if they vote them, the only thing remaining to stop this madness after this many years is for our people to say, we will not go to another election under this constitution. We insist on a transition now.
Exactly.
And if we're not getting into that transition to rework the constitutional architecture of this union, then to your tent, everybody must go.
Exactly.
That is what will take us from station C into station D. Because once we arrive at the arrival in station D, that is, once election of 2027 is rejected as a strategy for taking down that constitution, then we go into the transition itself. That's between station D, as if going back to A, but going back that the joint jailbreak, we will either then become a independent units of successor state entities, or a confederation, or a proper federation. That is what will happen by choice, by referendums and plebiscites, by negotiations, by identifying all of those. That's what the only thing between D and the A again is just that reconstruction.
Exactly.
So our task is to move things from where they are now to enforce that consensus against that constitution, against the enforcers of that constitution. That is what Nina should be inviting everybody to from this 4th anniversary, because everything we wondered about had happened.
Everything.
The election had gone the way it's gone. The outcome has plunged us into a deeper mess. And if we don't do something to halt it, we're getting into deeper waters in a vessel that is leaking from all sides, with a captain and crew that are drunken sailors are sailing you in rickety ship into troubled waters.
Oh.
Stop there.
And Africans in general. Because, yes, we gained independence in 1960, but we are never free. So we are here to shed light on everything that needed to be done so that we can be free. But while we are going on, one of the things we're going to look into clearly, critically, is the role of religion. The role of bad religion in keeping Nigerians under the captivity of the political class because of their relationship with the general overseers, bishops, primates, who only seek for their own good rather than for the good of their congregation. No religion is exempted from this problem.
Yes.
And these are the things that DTV has come to expose. So, friends, sit down, press the subscribe button, and like the program, and you will not regret doing it.
Thank you so much, our Father, right there, for the work that you did. We appreciate. This is what we have been telling other religious leaders, whether Christianity or Islam or tradition or whatever it is that you're worshiping. You must work towards the freedom of your people. So thank you so much, Reverend Dr. David Salami. At his age, he should be resting and saying, no, but he's out there going to grassroots, mobilizing his people, explaining to his fellow Christian leaders, the sincere ones, because we know there are some pastors and priests that are sincere, but majority that we are seeing on social media and everywhere with their private jet and everything, they are not sincere. They are very dishonest and wicked, if you ask me. Very greedy. Because I don't understand why Paul Enenche, for example, that they are massacring his people every day. We choose to be not being with politicians and doing Imakwandayo. It doesn't make sense to me. So we are inviting everyone. You heard in the video, Nigerian passport is now a badge of shame. Yes, that green passport. When they see you, they'll say, come, come, come. So we must insist on reworking this union. We must. So thank you so much for those that are sharing. We can see those that are making, continue to hit the like button, to make the algorithm, to make people to see the video more, because we need our people to see this video more, and then so that decision can be made. They will make that decision fast, because we don't want them to perish. We don't want them to continue to die harder dying. That's not the will of God. And we can make things to be different. So thank you so much. Remember, in our show, the way we do it, we play videos and then we'll begin to pull up our PowerPoint slides to break it down. Because sometimes people say, oh, Ninas, they're speaking plain English. We don't understand. Yes, the work of Ninas had to be done at certain level because we are talking to the world. We are not coming from one bush and no. So that's why it has to be standard. That's why I see their videos are usually, like standard English, standard presentation. That is why we're here as Daughters of Truth, to break it down for you. So that our grassroots, you see, on this platform, we speak Igbo, we speak Pidgin, we speak anything, any language, anything that we can speak. So far that our people are getting the information. So that's why we present things the way we present. We bring video, we bring PowerPoint slides, so that you'll be seeing it. Even if we talk so fast, you didn't hear, you can read it and follow the line and say, okay, what did they say? We bring pictures, we bring everything just to help our people to understand, because we want our people to understand. It's very important to us. We don't want to do follow. Our people have done follow. Enough for years. It's enough. Because the Bible says my people perish for lack of knowledge. So we want to bridge that gap of information for our people, so that our people can follow intelligently, because we know they're intelligent. So that's where we do it the way we do it. So continue to share, like, and subscribe. We'll give introduction to the main topic, which is dying of hunger in the land of plenty. Dying of hunger in the land of plenty. Because you know that Nigeria is number 6 oil producing nation, number 3 or second of gas. Everything, all the mineral resources you are looking for in this world is in the land. Yes. Then why is it that people are dying of hunger to the extent that they will be so desperate that they will die while trying to grab a loaf of bread? Something simple that even dogs have access to in Western countries. But my people don't have access to daily bread. Why? Why? Why is it that people are dying of hunger in the land of plenty? You see, we cannot reverse time, but we can build a new future. We cannot reverse time, but we can build a new future. There are positive alternatives, and we could begin to form new alliances to secure a better way of doing things. This quote was by Kemi Badenoch, a Yoruba UK conservative political leader. You know, on this platform, when people say the right thing, we bring what they have said to you. We'll make you know them. If they begin to say something that is not right also, we'll tell you that, no, this one that this person said is not okay. Nigerians, how many people will have to die before we can get our senses back? How many? How many more people will have to die? How? How many? What other atrocity do we want to see before we begin to regain our senses back? How did our people become this hungry within 1 year of this self-imposed president that was rejected countrywide? They rejected him in Lagos, rejected him in Abuja, rejected him in Port Harcourt, which was why they were doing grabby, snatch it, and all that. The people said no. Within 1 year, our people have become so desperately hungry. Remember the Structural Adjustment Program, SAP, 1986, SAP, of former President Ibrahim Babangida. That program saw Nigerians, including former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, then he was a master's degree candidate. That program saw Nigerians queue for essentials like milk, beverages. Then, 38 years later, Tinubu's economic policies did not only yield instant results of currency collapse and hunger multiplication. We are seeing corpses of Nigerians, hungry Nigerians, littered countrywide at Ibadan, Abuja, Okija, Anambra, as a result of stampedes at Christmas Palliative Food Distribution Center. Oil-producing country will now have palliative food distribution center. Not just that, our people, in order to get a plate of food, they had to die. They have to rush because if you don't get it, there's no other hope now. This is the only hope they're seeing right in front. They must grab that plate of food. Otherwise, they don't know what will happen. I tell you, most of the people there, they're thinking about their children at home. If I don't get this food, what will my child eat? Yet we are not at war. I'm not aware that Nigeria is at war. But my people are dying for a bowl of food. The other time we saw them, it was loaf of bread. We are dragging, running to get loaf of bread. The government, rather than take responsibility for getting Nigerians so desperately hungry, they began to blame the organizers who were just trying to remedy a terrible situation created by the government's knee-jerk economic policies. Yes, it's their policies that created the hunger. Knee-jerk policies. Background this one, background this one. Subsidy is gone. So recklessly said. Subsidy is gone. Some Mumu people say, oh, he's so brave. Subsidy is gone in an economy based on crude oil, petrol, fuel. Everything about Nigeria is based on this. Your brain did not tell you that that singular act is going to collapse everything. My people. Of course, as usual, the elites, ethnic bigots, political and religious leaders, they are living in the cocoon of a Tinubu success that is only in their heads. Yes. Yeah, it's succeeding. It's only in your head, in the head of a madman. My people say that a madman puts a house on fire and say, all clear. When you're allowed to New York, will say, all clear. As we speak, major opposition political parties have been decapitated and squashed in readiness for another round of snatch it, grab it, and run with it in 2027. The country is seriously being sold to France, China, and anyone interested to buy. Nigeria. Which side do you want? You want north? You want south? Which side do you want to buy? Grab, take. It's no man's land. Join Daughters of Truth today in this show as we discuss and examine the only vehicle boarding legitimate indigenous peoples to safety and self-determination. Yes, we said legitimate because you cannot just carry indigenous and add to your name and say, yes, we are now indigenous. That's not what makes you indigenous. The indigenous peoples know themselves. They know their lands, they know their boundaries, they know their languages, they know their culture, they know their tradition, they know everything about themselves. They know their original names. So you cannot go to somebody's land and add indigenous there and say, yeah, we are now indigenous people of Ndimo. That's not how they get indigenous. So this vehicle, you see, we mentioned safety and self-determination because safety is important to us. You cannot be fighting for freedom and the people you're fighting for freedom are being massacred. It doesn't mean anything to you. That's not how we do it in 2024. We don't want crisis. We don't want war. We want safety. That's why we are ready to peacefully negotiate, have conversations, talk to our people, because we believe that everybody has brain in their heads. So we talk about self-determination. We negotiate. We form alliances. We discuss with people. We travel. We meet. We go. Put things together the right way. So that when we have the independence and freedom that we're talking about, it will not be another flag independence. It will be real. It will be, everyone will be part of it. So please, we want to pull up our PowerPoints as we continue this lecture. It's so important to us, like we said, that our people understand what is going on all over the world. Yes, the world is changing. Things are happening everywhere. So we don't want you to be ignorant. We want you to be well informed so that when you discuss, you will not be discussing like somebody that is at beer parlor, because this discussion is a matter of life and death. It's a matter of life and death. So we want you to be part of the conversation. We want you to understand the conversation. And you be part of it. You discuss intelligently. If you have questions, you ask, of course, in our platform. And we want to read a comment by Ninas. Humongous quantities of natural resources. Yes, an incredible pool of human resources. Hi, are we talking about human resources? Everything in quantum. Yet, our people are dying of hunger. Do you need anybody else to come and tell you that there's a problem? Do you need anybody else to come and tell you that we need to do something immediately? Do you need anybody to tell you that anybody that is still discussing something else apart from how to deliver our people is not honest? It's not sincere. It's not truthful. And it's not godly. Yes, for you religious psychopaths that you like fighting for your mega church leaders that have rendered you so poor and wretched that you're suffering from Stockholm syndrome. Want to fight and defend those that are not fighting for you, those that are part of the thing killing you. Our topic, like we said, is dying of hunger in the land of plenty. Objectives today, introduction, which we have already given to us. We'll look at countrywide Almajiri system. Yeah, that's what you're living in. Everybody's now an Almajiri. We're all beggars. Different levels of beggars. Some people are begging on the streets with plastics. Some people are begging inside rooms stylishly. Sister, this. Brother, this. Uncle, this. Auntie, this. Nyanum, 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 nyanum. Beg, 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 beggy, beggy, beggy. I'm not blaming our people. We're just talking about the reality on the ground. We are all beggars. Some are begging at the airport. Some are begging everywhere. Everywhere. Online, social media. Hey, beggar, beg, beg, beg. Countrywide Almajiri system. Another one is, another subtopic, Tell This to Nigerians' Political Class by Ndidi Uwuche. Then we'll have our take-home point. And then announcements. Of course, like we keep saying, this video is for educational purposes only. Please. Social media, authorities, whoever in the world, anywhere you are, please allow us to teach our people. Allow this video to go out to them. The world, if Africans are well informed, if Africans are brought on top of the table of conversation, the world will be a better place. Please allow this video to go. Share it. Distribute. Do anything you want to do to it. Play in your meetings anywhere. We want information to get to our people. Nina's publication, it says, the hunger ravaging Nigerians since mid-2023 is evidence of the failure of economic policies. The countrywide stampedes and deaths is scrambles for food palliative is proof. I'll take that again. The countrywide stampedes and deaths in scrambles for food palliative is proof that the economic reform will require the blood of many before it can begin to yield any positive results. You don't need anybody else to tell you that. Of course, see our people, see our children. The menace of Almajiri system. Again, Nina's put up a post. It says, Almajiri economic model initiated by Buhari and fired up by Tinubu entails mass impoverishment of the people and exponential increase in the booty shared every month by enforcers of unitary Nigeria. Sadly, no part of the 49 trillion budget of 2025 is meant for the masses. They borrow it, share it among themselves, buy cars for their wives, for their mistresses, for their children, both inside and outside. Ezinuno, yes, family nuno, family nezi, spread. That's why you see them, they live the type of life that they live, because that's what they're doing. Countrywide Almajiri system. Of course, from news, we can say scores die in Abuja stampede during Catholic Church food distribution. Catholic Church is distributing food and rice to our people when they should be distributing information about NINAs. When because of their population, they can join together and get this assignment done just like this, but they will not do that. Like the colonial monsters that they serve, they will give our people crumbs. Why? They release the resources in the land to their fathers in the West, the colonial monsters, because evidence abound that during this transatlantic slave trade, that Reverend Fathers were part of the people, buying our people, shipping to the colonial masters that they serve. Today, they're still doing the same thing. The whitewashed Jesus Christ, the white painting, the white Mary, the Christianity that promotes white supremacy over black is another evidence that the Catholic Church works for the colonial masters, not for Africans. Of course, they'll give us food inside church. Another news you saw, it said 19 die as stampede occurs during struggle for free Christmas rice in Anambra State. Free Christmas rice. Why are we giving our people free Christmas rice? Why have we rendered all our people homeless, hungry, dejected, desperate? That we have to have stampede. Is that not telling you something? Another one says, Ibadan stampede. 35 children, of course, children have to be part of this, dead in Christmas fair tragedy amid economic hardship. Nigerians know they shame self. Shame know they catch Nigeria. As they spread news, they carry this in public. Shame, no single iota of shame. Shame know they catch them. 35 children die. Christmas fair tragedy. It's so your target. Economic hardship. Why? Of course, the government, they are blaming the organizers. Meanwhile, they are the ones that got the people so hungry and desperate. Instead of solving the problem that they created, they set up bribery scheme. Yes, when you have a president that bribed his way through from primary to national convention or whatever they do that they call, I don't know what they call those things. You saw him bribing everywhere, going through. You saw him on turning everything and turning upside down. You saw it. He didn't hide. So it's easy for them to set up a bribery scheme when the people are hungry. Will they bribe entire people? Will they bribe entire city? Because they are selling enough wealth, enough to bribe all of you. So far, your price is very cheap. Palliative or palliative. 1.7 billion cash shared by Remy. And somebody say, oh, there's cash, there's cash scarcity. Why won't you have cash scarcity when one single human being pulled out 1.7 billion from the society. Guinea Fosere. What is the remaining of the cash? Because they want to bribe everybody. They give you one bag of rice, 200,000. Like, are you people even okay? Are you all right? Of course, we told you people that this is where your problem started. When the colonial monsters from outside, you were shouting you wanted freedom. The colonial monsters handed you over to the internal colonial monsters. Ahmadu Bello. He said that the new nation called Nigeria should be an estate of our great-grandfather, Usman Dan Fodio. We must ruthlessly prevent a power change. We use the minorities of the North as willing tools and the South as a conquered territory, and never allow them to rule over us. Never allow them to have control over their future. And when they finish, they put this whole thing in the Constitution, the 1999 Unitary Constitution. That's why we tell you that the 1999 Constitution is a constitution, is a colonial constitution, because it was not made by the people. It's made by the colonial monsters. And we will say that any lawyer not understanding this is an illiterate lawyer. I come from a family of lawyers. They're always bragging about their law degree. I don't have a problem with that. But we're saying, if you don't understand that the 1999 Unitary Constitution is a colonial constitution not made by the people, that your degree is useless. I don't know, because this is common. You should have known this. If you're busy defending that evil constitution, the constitutional arrangement, it means that you missed a class in your law school. Please go back and go and read it. Of course, we'll bring it. Yes, we'll go there. We will go there because we know where it started. After they finished the declaration 1960 of what they would do, the next thing they did was to, there are three groups that formed, that came into Nigeria, 3 blocks. The Igbo block, Yoruba block, the Hausa block. So they say Eastern block, Southwestern block, and then the Northern block. But the other block made up their minds to eat up the other block, 1/3. They decided, the colonial monsters pushed them. Meanwhile, all this bloc wanted was, how can we do this so that this nation will belong to everyone? There'll be autonomy, there'll be independence, real independence, and people will be able to manage their resources. And they put up their mind, what they have in mind. At Aburi Accord, they came with their pure mind. This is what we want, so that everybody will be okay in this nation that we are building. No. 2/3 decided they will eat up 1/3 of the so-called nation. We will go there. We will always go there. And we will continue to go there until the right thing is done. You cannot build peace on the foundation of injustice. It will not happen. Starving Biafran children, 1967-70. God bless the people that took these pictures so that we can have evidence of what we're saying. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. You know what? What goes around always comes around. What you sow is what you reap. You sat down and allowed millions of children I don't know what else. Look at these pictures. Look at these hungry children. And it's still happening today. Our children are still hungry. Nigeria is built on the blood and tears of innocent children. And it will continue to require the blood of human beings to sustain it. This unitary Nigeria that you put in place of the true federal Nigeria is built on the blood and tears of these children. The souls These innocent souls, they died for you to build your unitary Nigeria. And you think it's going to be okay for you? You think you have to move on? Look at these faces. Look at these faces. If these faces do not break your heart, I wonder what else will. Look at their ribs out. This happened. Yes, as you're looking at it, this happened. This is our history. This is the history we are trying to build on without addressing it. It's waste of time. Look at them. Look at this woman. Look at this child. Look at this. This is why you will continue to die. Because you're trying to build on a foundation of injustice. It doesn't happen. It will not happen. You will continue to crack from inside. Recently, we heard that our youths from Middle Belt, they came to apologize to Igbo people. We saw the video. Apology accepted. But we need something more, because it's not just about apology. Of course, Nina's put up an article, a response to them. That article is in public. You can grab it and read it. It says, on the Middle Belt Group apology to Igbo video clip by Tony Nadi, December 2023, 2024. Look for it. You'll see the details. Nigerian youths need to wake up. They must correct the iniquities of their fathers. There is now a remedy on the table, thank God. You need to join the ethnic nationalities to take down the unitary constitution, which we have told you several on this platform, that it is the victory charter over the people, including your own people. The monster that you people helped to kill Ndibo, that monster drank the blood of Ndibo and their cousins, became fatter, bigger, and swallowed the rest of you. So you must join everyone. We must put our hands together to bring down that monster. We are not sending you to go and riot. Ninas is not sending you to go and do stupid protests that will make them to destroy you more. Just lectures and enlightenment. Because you must understand what you're fighting. You must understand the disease. You must understand the illness. You must understand what it has gone wrong before you be part of the solution. Use your mobilization noise to shut down the criminals preparing for 2027. Grab it, run with it. Demand transition now. That's what you should do. Of course, this video is for educational purpose. We always remind viewers and those that are watching and say, please share, subscribe, like, hit the like button, against the algorithm so that it can go out for people to watch. The next segment, it says, tell this to Nigeria's political class by Ndidi Uweche. The effects of the imposed fraud called 1999 Constitution is a disappearing middle class, a ballooning underclass, and a self-indulgent, illicit political class swimming in ill-gotten money, oppressing Nigerians and deceiving them and the world that there is a union. When truth gets fully known, the political class will have to explain where they obtain the authority to be in their positions from and face the public's rejection. Because the thing about truth is that when it gets out, that person that has sold lies for a long time will be the one to be put to shame. The public will reject all of you. Political leaders, religious leaders, all of you willing tools, that have been sustaining this evil against the people, this evil system, you are the one enforcing it. When the truth is completely out and understood, because we're getting there, the public will reject you. You'll be so rejected that you will beg earth to open so that you enter inside. Therefore, it is now that the political class should embrace transitioning for constitutional reconstruction so that they can peacefully remain in office in the period of that reconstruction. We are stretching hand of partnership to you political class because we are not anarchists. We are not troublemakers. We are peacemakers. We are stretching arm of fellowship to all you evildoers, all you wicked men and women that have been building wealth, personal wealth, on the blood of our people. We are stretching hand of fellowship to you. There's still door. That door is closing. It's swinging gradually, slowly, as more and more people dying. As Nigeria happens to more people, that door is closing. You can still be part of it if you can embrace NINAS, because we don't need you to implement the NINAS proposition. No, the indigenous peoples do not need you. They can do it by themselves, and they're already doing it, and are moving gradually. But you will suffer public rejection when this truth is completely unveiled, completely understood by all the people that need to understand it. We will always remind you that the final outcome of this Nigeria that you're seeing, after a time-bound period of transitioning, would be a federation or confederation or independent successor countries. These three alternatives, everybody must pick one. Because you see, this union of death, it must be reconstructed. And where you hear material, your falsehood and fakeness will not stop the reconstruction of this Nigeria you're seeing. You're crying, win. You're deceiving yourself. And all the things that you people are doing, it will not stop this thing that is coming. And I like how it's coming. Slow but steady, slow but surely, like a submarine. Hey, it's coming. Of course, you know there's ongoing African revolts. Because what is happening in Nigeria, we told you that the entire Africa, we are the ones suffering from colonialism and neocolonialism. So everybody is working hard. You look at this map, you see that red place, that's Mali. Under it is Burkina Faso. By the side is Niger. You see all the people that surround Nigeria. Revolt is already going there, and they're already tearing down, overthrowing the imposed constitutional arrangements that are terminating the neo-colonial structures in Africa. That's what is going on. I know some of you like reading news from false media people, like all these Arise, TVC, channels, all these colonial monsters media houses, because they are receiving payments, so they have to speak. You know, they have forked tongue. One side, this side is saying this, and this side is saying that. So they have to do like that. Don't be listening to them. If you continue to listen to them, you will never understand the real thing that is happening. But we are here to tell you what is happening. So you see Mali, you see Niger, you see Burkina Faso. I'll leave the other ones so that you understand what is going on. Of course, during the week, we saw a video. It was in Hausa from the president of the one in charge of Niger, reaching hand out to the Hausas in the northern part of Nigeria for collaboration. Yeah, because we need alliances, like we said, alliances, collaboration, people that think like you, not those that are selling us out to colonial monsters. No. of course, our own dear Ninas is busy organizing and guiding the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, that green part. Because you see, that Nigeria is the biggest open air prison in Africa. Biggest open air prison in Africa is Nigeria, where they kept all the black people. So if we release those black people, empower them, the world will be a better place. So we need to, that's why it's called joint jailbreak. So Ninas is organizing and guiding us quietly, gently. Do this like this, do like this, do like this. Things are taking shape. The earth, the world as we know it, is changing. Because they say something is so difficult, but it's somebody that will do it because we have brain. That's why God gave us brain. To do what is difficult, God will help us to do it. And it's always going on. The global terror network is beginning to develop some sense. Yes, the fear of some people in this world is beginning of wisdom. You say you know they hear. My ear, they pepper me. I know they hear very well. Hey, when some people come on board, you go receive sense. So I don't want to call countries, but those that are following the international scene, you can know what you know what is happening in some of those places. I don't want to call names yet because January is close by. So some people are already receiving sense. Some people that said that their name is terror, they're saying, okay, what do people want us to do? How do you want us to do it? I just say now they hear words. Positive global wind of change is blowing. We've told you here, and that's why we come for you to be part of what is going on. The conservatives, the nationalists, they're speaking. We showed you the video of Kemi, and then we'll have conservatives coming in January in America. They are speaking. Go out there. So why we bring these things for you is so that when you are out there surfing through the social media, trying to go through news and everything, so that you have, because sometimes it can be confusing who is actually speaking the truth. Why is this one talking like this? Why is that one talking like that? So when we finish putting things together for you, it will make sense to you. Like we say, it will do you the more you look, the more you see, rather than what the evil people wanted you. The evil people want you to do, the more you look, the less you see. It's confusion, GBT system. So there's also an article. It says African revolts overthrowing imposed constitutional arrangements. So that's colonial constitutional imposed constitutional arrangements to terminate neo-colonial structures in Africa. Yes, that's what is going on. That's a summary of what is going on. And it's not depending on any one human being. It's the people, humanity, those that are suffering, those that are tired of suffering by the global terror network and global, what do they call themselves? Colonial monsters. The whole world travailing and saying, when we have manifestation of the sons of God, those that speak for peace, those that speak for this life, equity, justice, fairness, they are coming, they are speaking up, and they are rising. As evil is going down, they are coming up, because it takes the introduction of light for darkness to disappear. And the Bible says that the gate of hell or the gate of darkness cannot comprehend it, and it will not prevail over the gate of light. So as you open the gate of light, as a light begin to enter, you don't need to fight with darkness. Darkness will disappear, because darkness cannot withhold the emergence of light and truth. We saw our sister at the beginning, at the introduction, Kemi Badenoch, Yoruba UK conservative political leader. She said, we cannot reverse time, but we can build a new future. There are positive alternatives, and we could begin to form new alliances to secure a better way of doing things. There is a better way of doing things. All indigenous ethnic nationalities watching us, going through our videos, following Ninas, you have an assignment, you have a task. Your assignment is not just to sit down, watch, and say, oh, it's good to watch, but your assignment is to be part of the movement. It is a movement. You need to educate your people. Yes, you go youths everywhere. Yeah, it's good to apologize, but most importantly, you need to be part of what is going on. This discussion that is going on. Go to your villages, the grassroots, speak to them in your native tongue, in your native language. Talk among yourselves. Stand on your soil, that land where you belong, that land, that ancestral homeland that you are resident of. Don't go to another person's own, no, because you're not a land grabber. The people that grab lands are colonial monsters, that are the intruders, that are the invaders. If your land belongs to you, why do you want to grab it? So the indigenous peoples are the ones that live in their ancestral lands, speaking their languages. They have their culture, they have their tradition, they have their boundaries. They are not grabbing anybody's land. The people grabbing lands are those that do not have land within the space. We'll give you an example. Fulani, we'll give you an example. The colonial monsters. They come in either by trick, by crook, by whatever to grab lands. So you need to be part of this movement. You need to be part of this initiative. Whether you are a church goer and a Muslim, a traditional worshiper, whatever you are, so far you come from somewhere, you need to be part of this mobilization, this enlightenment campaign. Of course, using Nina's blueprint for societal reform and self-determination. The template is okay. It takes care of everybody's need, everybody's grievance. That's the template you use. Even if it's just a 5-point agenda of Nina's that you can explain to your people, that's good enough. Those who claim to want union, there's some people that make too much noise about Nigeria. They want to breed Nigeria. They want to dress Nigeria. They want to wear Nigeria. That's Nigeria that you're defending. If you want it, because it's going down, it's dying. If you want it, then the best thing for you is to push for union renegotiation and union reconstruction. Otherwise, that your union, by default, is headed towards catastrophic collapse. You did it by yourself. It's not even, I don't have to do it because it's fake. Something that is fake will just go by itself. Thank you for Nina's for putting that link. You can see the link on Facebook. Nina's has given us the link of Africa Revolt, overthrowing imposed constitutional arrangements to terminate neo-colonial structures in Africa, the entire Africa. So when we talk sometimes, don't come and think it's about your brother, your sister. Stop all those things. We are thinking big. The vision is big. It's just that it's like a puzzle. You will do your own part of it because we all have our land. Like chess, it's divided. You have land where you're standing. That's why we say, trace back to your land. You see the conservatives that are saying the same thing. They say, we want to build our nation. We want to conserve what was great about our nation. Of course, what is not great about their nation, they will stop building it now. Like the colonialism that we're mentioning, that some people came, they will stop building colonialism. They will start going back because it's now open secret. Nobody's hiding it anymore. That some people were grabbing people's land, killing people, destroying it. Information is everywhere. You must be shameless if you want to continue on that trajectory. So where we are now, where humanity is, where we are as human beings on this earth, you cannot afford to continue to do evil. You will be exposed. You cannot continue to bully other human beings. You cannot continue to make your nation to be a bully country, pilfering, going here and there, looking how to steal people's things. If you want the resources, if you want anything that any country wants, you will go for a fair negotiation. The people will sit down and discuss and tell you, okay, what do you want? This is what you give us. You will not go stealing that. You will not go stealing it because that is why we're having migration issue. That's why we're having hunger, having terrible things happening in this whole world. And we need to fix it. If civilization started from Africa, then Africa will fix the world. We did it before. We will do it again. Of course, we'll show you this. to show you summary of what all that NINAS has achieved. It's been a work of 25 years, painstakingly, step by step, intelligently, moving from one step to the other. First one was repudiation of the 1999 Unitary Constitution. We told you that it's a constitution, that's the constitutional arrangement. We told you it was imposed by the colonial monsters. It was not by the people. That one was done. And they did it block by block. Go online, you see videos on YouTube, NINA's videos, you have evidence. Everything we do, we keep evidence because we know some people will come. When did you do it? Where was I when you were doing it? How come I didn't know about it? All one in the beginning. No, the evidence is there. So go and look for it. If you don't know, if you didn't know and it was done, you should be ashamed. You should not be coming out and say, when did you do it? How come I didn't know? That means we begin our game out. So go and look for it. The evidence is there for all the blocks. The second one was constitutional force majeure. This is most recent. That was on the 16th of December, 2020. We just did the 4th anniversary. Some people say, hey, 4th anniversary. So what happens now? These are medical doctors asking Itibolibo questions. That's why we tell you people it's not by title. Somebody is answering doctor, lawyer, it is a professor. Don't be bamboozled. When they bring their title, it's okay. Let's sit down and discuss. You see, most of the time, they don't really have that. If you take them outside that medicine law that they read, they don't know any other thing. And it's okay if you don't know. My only thing is, if you don't know, can you keep quiet and learn in silence? So that when you learn, you can ask questions and you'll be educated. We don't have problem with somebody not knowing. There's some things I don't know. When I came to NINAS, I didn't even know what was going on. Remember I told you, we were in IPOB because we were looking for freedom for our people. But when we go to IPOB, you say, okay, tell us what you're doing. What's the plan on the table? There was no plan. He's just running around, eating chicken. And say, we are Igbo, we are Biafrans, we are fighting for our freedom in the name of Jesus. We shall conquer. We knew that that cannot be the plan. We kept searching. My sister and I, Sister Monarchy, we kept searching until we found those doing NINAS. We interrogated them. We read all the things. Now we talk as if we are part of them when it started. Of course, I wasn't part of them when they started 25 years ago. But the information we have right now, we can teach others. That is what we're telling you to do as well. So what we're telling you to do is what we have done. We don't tell people what we have not done. We don't tell people what we cannot do or what we're doing or what we cannot do. So we tell you what we are doing so that you can learn it and do the same thing because it can be done. So where we are in number 3, transition. You need to understand it. The next step is referendum and plebiscite. This referendum we're saying is not the one you go inside your room and say, yes, we'll do referendum. And now everybody has answered. No. It's step by step. You will stand on your land. The whole world will know when you are doing it. When they did referendum in Chile, 2020, the whole world witnessed. You saw Chile people, their youth, everybody, they occupied the streets for 1 full year to pull down that military constitution. Apartheid, when apartheid came down in 1990, were you not there? Everybody saw it. So this is not what you do inside one room. All the parts being part of that union being discussed, which is Nigeria, everyone trapped in that prison will be part of the conversation, will be part of this referendum that we're talking about. And we will continue to march until we get there. And then at the end, you have new constitutional order, which we already broke you that. We already told you that there will be 3 alternatives that you people will choose based on the referendum, based on what you chose. The people will speak. The voice of the people will be heard. This is what we want. Nobody, Gowon will not speak on behalf of Middle Belt, indigenous peoples. Gowon is one person. All of them, all these politicians, big names you're calling, one vote is what they have. But the people, the indigenous people in block, we speak and the world will hear what they said. Transition. Told the people, shut down any other discussion going on. Whether they tell you that some people say, hey, bring Confab. We did Confab. Confab did not discuss what we told them to discuss. We are talking about foundation. Confab went there to go and discuss something else. That's why they continue. Some people have even died. We said the foundation, the neo-colonial foundation, the colonial foundation upon which this fake union is being built must go down. We are not saying refurbish it. It needs to go down. The whole arrangement, the construction needs to so that new order, new protocol will replace it. So anything, anybody telling you, oh, come, let me do this. Oh, don't listen to them. It's not electoral reform because you have to build now before you start talking who will lead you. Doesn't make sense. Like this thing is clear. It's clear for anybody to understand. Shut down preparation for 2027 general election. That's not what the people want. The people are burning up. People are dying for a plate of rice. You think it's a general election that we want to be talking now? No. We're talking about how to remove the jail, the prison that they put on top of us. Take home point. What will be the final outcome for Nigeria after a time-bound period of transitioning? Please drop in the comments. If you know what it is, answer us in the comments. Our take-home point today is just this question, because we want our people to be part of the conversation. Even if you're watching this video later, even if you're watching it after we have dropped it, if you know the answer, please leave it in the comment, because we want to engage our people. We want you to be part of the conversation. If you're part of the conversation, you stop doing the wrong things. As we are trying to break down these things for our people, if you understand it, if you stop thinking anyhow and just understand it, one thing it will do is that you will stop doing wrong things that you're doing in the name of freedom. The second thing that is you will stop dying, because you die because you're going to do the wrong thing. You get yourself so poor, so dejected, so depressed, so hopeless, because that's what the system wants to achieve. But if you understand what we're trying to teach here, at least you begin to fix yourself small, starting from your person, then your family, your community. You will begin to live again. Then gradually, you see how relaxed we are doing what we are doing because we are doing the right thing. It's like a woman that is pregnant. She knows that after 9 months, she's going to have a baby. So she's coming and hoping, like her hope makes sense. But if somebody is not pregnant, like when they do a crypto pregnancy, it's a hopeless situation. Nigeria, as it is now, as constituted under the 1999 unitary constitution, is a hopeless setup, hopeless system. In where he came to make it hopeful. There's nothing you will do on this earth and in heaven to fix this hopeless Nigeria. The only, because it does not belong to you, like you keep saying, is the colonial master's enterprise. It's a colony. It's not free yet. Stillbirth, dead child. What can you do with a child that came out dead? It's burial. So please don't allow sentiments. Don't go by sentiment, emotion. No, we don't want Africans to do that anymore. We want you to engage intelligently. And remember, we told you, it doesn't depend on the certificates you got from white man's school. Because there are people that got many degrees in white man's school, but their brain is coconut water that is inside it. Boom, 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 boom. So don't be intimidated by anybody speaking high English. We're not saying people should not speak English. Speak. English is just a language. It's not a judge of your IQ. It's just that if you speak it very well, that means you're speaking it very well. It's like if I'm speaking Igbo now. There are some people that speak Igbo better than myself. It just means that they speak very well. So it's just a language. English is just a language. It's not a test of your IQ. So don't come bamboozling us or trying to intimidate us with your English. It's okay that you're speaking it. God bless you. Thank you. Well done. Me, I'm speaking Igbo. Yoruba people speak Yoruba. Ijaw people speak their language. Ishekiri, everybody, we get our language. So you should be promoting us when we speak it very well too. So, but we are talking about IQ, Oboro, Akonuche, your brain. So if you understand this conversation, if you sit down and just calm down, remove distractions, you will be part of the conversation. It will make sense. And we said, the first thing it will do is that it will begin to deliver you. Because if you are not delivered, you cannot deliver another person. You have to be delivered from colonial mentality. You have to be delivered from colonial religion. You have to be delivered from everything colonialism. Colonialism is inside your brain. We have to remove it first. Then you begin to think like somebody that wants to be free. Like when you have an addict, you want to cure the addict before you can engage the addict in some other things that the person will do, some meaningful things that the person will do. So we want to remove the addiction, that slavery, that colonialism that they planted inside your head. We want to pull it out first. And then when we are now discussing, other things will begin to make sense. And it happens instantly like this. Once you just say, oh, I want to stop thinking as a slave. I want to stop thinking as a colonized mind. Film, it disappears. When we now talk, it will be enter your ear. So it's very important. Take home point. What will be the final outcome for Nigeria after a time-bound period of transitioning? This thing that Ninas is discussing, we're not talking about another one, no, because some people just want to plagiarize. They jump up from one evil forest and say, yes, we too want to fix the constitution. Something that you just found out. No, we are working with people that have worked for 25 years to put things in place. That's the time-bound, that's the transition, time-bound transitioning we are speaking about. That's where we're going. And we're asking, you said, write it in the comments. What will be the final outcome? Because if you know what the final outcome is, you see, you'll be motivated to do more. Will give us the answer. Those that know, please continue to write. Federation or confederation or independent successor countries. Have you seen? Everybody should be happy. Everybody should be rejoicing. Our salvation is in front of us. We are closer to it than when we began. Announcements as we finish. We have our wisdom of our ancestors, spotlight on wisdom of our ancestors. These are Daughters of Truth videos on YouTube and Facebook. It will help you to get back your identity, like we said. Part of what the colonial monsters did was to make us reject who we are. And we started having identity crisis. We see it in us trying to bleach our skin, trying to straighten our hair, trying to look like Oyibo man, and we will never look enough like Oyibo man. We are Black women. We are indigenous peoples. We are native people. We are villagers. We are close to nature. We were made from nature, and we are close to nature. So we are not ashamed to identify with nature. That's why we are conservatives. We want to conserve nature. We want to conserve humanity. We want to conserve people. Ndubisi in my dialect, it says, life is supreme. So we hold human life sacrosanct, and we believe that all men are born equal. So that's why we do what we do. So we have those videos. If you just type it, it will pull up, hopefully. And then we have a Smart African on Spotify, our sister, Didu Woche, also on Clubhouse. Please follow her. You'll get all the information you need. And then Twitter Tuesday. Even if you go on Tuesday, you're tweeting, Ninas is right. Hashtag Ninas is right. Hashtag we stand with Ninas. Hashtag transition now. Hashtag N1999 Constitution. That would be good enough. And then if you want to learn more, go to Nina's website. It's called ninasvoice.org. We also have Daughters of Truth website, the daughtersofTruth.org. You type the Daughters of Truth .org. Of course, you see our logo, the pregnant woman. Yes, we're pregnant. We are giving birth to live babies. It's coming. It's coming. We're patiently working on it. We are moving. Okay, so insist on transition now. Transition now. Of course, we have our catalog and campaign materials. This is for us, our own Igbo people. We want to see Yoruba people who know they're doing something. They're printing flyers. We see the work that our father, Reverend Dr. David Salam is doing, and other people that are working with him. We see people in other parts of indigenous that we can't even call their names one by one, from different people, Middle Belt, Ejo, all those places, people on the ground working, trying to sensitize their own people. They're discussing. This discussion is not what you come on social media to discuss. Like we said, we only come here because we want to give the information to our people. Discussion is going on the ground. The NINA Secretariat information, the phone numbers, if you want to be part of the movement, you want to be part of the everything going on. NINA's Secretariat, the numbers are here. LNC Secretariat, the numbers are also here. These are individuals, the website. People are on the ground working so hard. And we say kudos to all of you for what you're doing. All of you for what you're doing. Thank you very much. Our time is fast spent. And then we have our social media handles, YouTube, video, TikTok. On TikTok, we are Umada 2019. TikTok is doing a good job. We see people liking, following, and every sharing and all that. Thank you so much. We are here because of you. So please, on Instagram, Twitter, just type Daughters of Truth. You will see our videos, and you see videos for Ninas also. Just calm down and listen to them. We ought not to be dying of food, of hunger in the land of plenty. That's not okay. So thank you so much for staying with us. And then say bye till next week. See you again. Thank you. Bye.